This is a Gigabyte GTX 760 WindForce 3X OC GPU. This is a 4 gigabyte GPU based on the Kepler architecture running GDDR5 memory. This model has respectable 11% overclock on both the base and boost clocks and is one of the fastest non-specialty models that were offered. Again, as I said, non-specialty models. There were some fairly high-end specialty models that were a bit more expensive that did go a little bit higher. This is using the always gorgeous Gigabyte WindForce 3X cooler design, which allows us to see a very capable cooling system. My experience was temps on this model are substantially lower than reference. It appeared like I was seeing 60, 65-ish, something like that. Reference, I think, was something like 80, so fairly cool. Looking at the video connectors, that's probably my biggest complaint with this GPU. With only a single display port and a single HDMI port, some of the legacy usability that this GPU would otherwise have are taken off the table compared to a modern configuration, because you can't really run modern monitors off of DVI. You need display or HDMI, so that's kind of a ding. This does have a somewhat high power requirement for what it is, with two 8-pin connectors. The GPU clearly does not need the 375 watts of power that would put at its disposal. However, best practice does generally suggest using a PSU with proper connector and wattage support. And Gigabyte recommends 450 watts. However, I'm not sure you will find many 450 watt power supplies with two 8-pin connectors. I'm not ruling it out, but I doubt it. Reasonably, you will probably end up with more like a 650 watt power supply. So after we take a little bit more of a look at the card, let's jump into the game testing. And also, before we do that, we're going to just talk a little bit more about the GPU. I'm going to go over some of the testing, my test rig, some stuff like that. So let's get to it and see how it runs. This is a rather interesting GPU. It's a class of GPU I don't normally get to play with of any generation. So this is a ultra high-end version of a low-end GPU, which is just, it's a class of product I don't normally buy. Looking at the specs and the way this thing tested, I really don't quite understand the reason for its existence. The extra 2 gigs of video RAM didn't really make a difference on anything it could actually play. If this had had the DX12, the modern DX12 support necessary to support frame gen and some upscaling, then maybe we could have done some interesting stuff with it. But Kepler is very much a product of its generation. The thing with Kepler is that Kepler is, at the time that this card is released, Kepler is old. Kepler is just about to be replaced. It's within 6 months. It's an outgoing architecture. And so this GPU, it's missing some of the features that we got with the Maxwell architecture, which was GTX 900, just months later. And so it's not a very useful architecture when it comes to modern capabilities. So there's a lot of AMD GPUs from the exact same generation as this thing. Same age, within a month, 2 months release of this card that are still usable, that can run frame gen, they can run upscaling, they can actually achieve playable frame rates in modern games. Because this couldn't, I did have to test it using older games. Nice games. I mean, we tested some fairly high-end stuff. You know, Battlefield 1, we tested Titanfall 2. Some games that look, honestly, in my opinion, as good as modern games. I love Titanfall 2. I think it's a beautiful game. But we weren't able to really crank it with something like Cyberpunk 2077. So we'll quickly take a look at this. This is my test build that we used. I normally don't test like this, so this is a build that totally overwhelms this GPU. This is a 5800X3D, 64 gigs of RAM, Look, I know today you guys, oh, it's like $1,000 worth of RAM. This RAM was purchased long before that happened. This stuff used to cost me nothing. Okay, so none of those dumb comments. But it is a totally overkill system for what this card is. And so it is going to push this card as hard as this card can be pushed. So I think you guys will be impressed with some of what this can do. I really wish it had some more modern features because I think it would actually put out some impressive numbers on games like Cyberpunk. But hey, it is what it is. So let's jump into the game testing and I'll show you guys what we did with this thing. This is Titanfall 2. So on this one, we are running 1080p, and it is on kind of a high setting. It's not quite maxed out as far as the actual settings are concerned, but it's running kind of just below. I turned a few things down just a little bit to get us to a reasonably solid, stable frame rate. My opinion is that this is probably one of the better looking games of this generation. This is a 2016 release game, so the game is a solid 3 years newer than the GPU itself. And I cannot get this guy. Oh, there he goes. Boom. This is actually one of my favorite games of all time. I could probably play this just over and over and over. It's a really fun game. Ooh, you guys are toast. Or not. I think I may have, I think they may have gotten me. Okay, this should give you guys a solid idea on Titanfall 2. Let's move on to the next one. This is Battlefield 1. This one is running at medium settings, 1080p resolution. Honestly, Battlefield 1 is a game that I don't believe gets as much credit as it deserves for how well optimized it is. Now, I'm kind of surprised it doesn't run even better than this on this hardware, to be totally honest. But even so, this isn't bad. I'm trying to... Oh, crummy, I didn't want to do that. Trying to do this a little different than I normally do. Now, on this one, on this set of hardware, I think you probably could run it at 1440 comfortably, except I'm not really... I'm really trying to benchmark this as a 1080p build. I don't really think that most games are going to run at a level that you're going to be happy with on the 760, even the 4 gig 760, if you're not running them at 1080p. It's just not a good card for north of anything north of 1080p, really. But this gives you a pretty solid idea of what to expect on Battlefield 1. Let's move on to the next one. This is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. This is another one of those games that I think really doesn't get enough credit for being the Oh, they got me, don't they? What the heck? This is a game that actually runs really well. And it's actually running at max settings right now. So 1080p max settings. I generally find when I run this one on newer hardware, usually it'll crank it at like 4K, like 150 FPS or something. Like, this game is one of those games that takes like nothing to run. Okay, come on. I'm not good at these grenades. You're supposed to get good at them, but I'm not very good at them. You guys got to see how this looks on a 1080p 27 though. It actually looks really good. But yeah, as you can see, even when you've got all the action going on, like, it stays smooth. I think I must have this set on the hard setting or something, because it's not usually this hard. And lots of violence. Yeah, I was trying to keep the violence to a minimum nowadays because, I don't know, with YouTube being the way it is, like, I don't want my videos to start getting blocked because they have game violence in them, you know? Oh, that's one of my dudes. Okay, I think you guys have seen enough to have a pretty good idea of what kind of performance we're looking at, so let's move on to the next one. This is Far Cry 5, running at 1080p and low settings. So it is totally playable. People who say you can't play under 60, whatever. I guess this isn't the hardware for them, right? But that being said, it is playable. I'm a little disappointed. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. The game is 5 years newer than the GPU. This is true. That being said, man, I hate badgers in this game. Stupid badger. Where was I going? Oh, yeah. This is kind of a game that I'm used to being able to run on kind of what I would normally regard as low-end hardware, but it is interesting. Look at GPU memory usage, though. So this is something I'm constantly trying to tell people. Just because you have more VRAM doesn't mean the card can use it. We're virtually maxing this game. Now, looking at this, it's possible it would run around the same settings at 1440 and just use more VRAM, but still, kind of gives you something to think about. But again, it is a game 5 years newer than the GPU, so I mean, that is asking a lot. Especially with Kepler. Kepler really didn't age very well after 7 series, because 7 series, the architecture was pretty old when these cards came out, so, I mean, it is what it is. But anyway, let's get on to the next one. This is Crysis 3, running at medium settings at 1080p. I felt like a video about a GeForce GPU released in 2013, the same year as Crysis 3, kind of wouldn't be complete without a video including Crysis 3, right? So here we are. It's actually running really well. It's actually running better than I expected. And this is another one of those examples of it's not running any better because the thing has 4 gigs of VRAM. I honestly, I really feel like 4 gigs of VRAM I don't see the reason for this GPU. So far, from what I have seen, I haven't really seen a good justification for this GPU having 4 gigs of VRAM. I just haven't. It's running real nice, though. I'm gonna... Oop, did I just die? I just died. I'm gonna make a wild guess that the OC... I didn't dig how deep into the OC it was at this point. You guys will have seen it by this point. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm guessing the performance of the card minus the VRAM is probably more important here than that extra VRAM. I'm guessing we'd be seeing virtually the same performance with 2 gigs of VRAM for the most part. I don't know. I guess this is almost right at the edge. Man, they keep getting me. Okay, you guys see enough on this one. Oh, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so Fortnite being our last one. Last time I played Fortnite, I got totally creamed because I am not prepared for this new this new gameplay mode they've got. Not new gameplay mode, but the new season or whatever. It usually takes me a little while to get decent. But take a look at how generally consistent the frame rate is, which I tend to find is pretty standard when you're working with a GPU that's totally overwhelmed by the CPU, which in this case, the 5800X 3D. What is going on there? That was odd. The 5800X 3D totally overwhelms this CPU. Or, I'm sorry, this GPU. Where is he? Ooh, am I going to get a kill? Ooh, I got him. Ha ha, now I feel special. I didn't totally die. Let's get a shotgun. And what is this thing? The other interesting thing to note here is this is a good example of one of those times where I say don't mess with the thermals on your GPU. This GPU may have been repasted at some point, but I'm not going to just repaste it just because. I mean, look at the thermals. I think what I read was the 760 can be seen as high as like 80 Celsius or something. So why would I redo the thermals on this? But anyway, that was the last one. So I hope you guys got a good idea of what exactly you can do with a GTX 760, especially this 4 gig version. And thanks for watching.